on the Brocast. On the Brocast. On the Brocast, yeah.
Oh, okay, it's over. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. It's Saturday, it's 3 p.m. It's that time once again for the Brocast. And I am your host, Commander Josh Hawkins, joined by my co-hosts, Commander Turgeon Starstone.
Hello, waiting peoples.
And Commander Greatest.
I can never tell which one of us you're gonna say first.
I know, I try to mix it up.
Gotta mix it up.
I like to keep it a bit of a mystery, you know? Nobody's ever going to know who I introduce first.
Exciting.
That's right. There's only two of you, so I got to do something different every show, you know? What's up?
Introduce
Late
yourself
again.
twice, yeah.
Okay, so Luigi's saying late again. Okay, so
really.
we're a little confused by something right now because
Either Josh is living in the future, or both,
everyone else is living
Turgeon
in the
and
past.
I are living in the past. 'Cause
Okay.
Our clocks are like 3 minutes different.
So here's what happened. I looked at my clock and I went, oh, it's 3 o'clock. We got to start the show in about 10 seconds. And they're like, no, you got 2 more minutes. And I'm like, no, it says 3 o'clock on my computer. And they're like, no, it's only 2:58. And I looked on my phone and my phone said 2:58. And I'm like, what the hell? And my buddy is sitting right next to me here. And I said, what time does it say on your phone? He said 2:58. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense at all. Why is my computer 2 minutes ahead? And I like Turgeon's answer. What was it, Turgeon? You said that? Like my computer's so fast, it's in the future. It's a new computer.
So it's eager. It's getting out there.
It's computing the time so fast. It's ahead
of the future.
It's skipped ahead. It's in the future, my computer. So now they're saying I'm late. So what time is it right now? I want to figure out what.
Well, everybody type in chat your current time, like your current local time completely, please, right now. I'm going to do it as well.
Now.
Mine is currently that one.
Mine says 3:02 and my computer says 3:04.
Exact time, please, with minutes or even seconds if you can.
And milliseconds if you have them. Okay, well so everyone's on the same time as us, except my computer. Which doesn't make sense because my computer says 3:04, and when I go to adjust date and time, it says set time automatically on. So
Sorry, I was doing well there.
Maybe the whole Canadian time server lives in the future.
I fixed it. I turned off set time automatically, and I turned it back on, and now it says 3:03. So.
Oh, the classic. Turn it off and turn it on again. There it is again.
Yeah, that's it.
Never fails.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? No, I didn't. Oh, well, there you go. Problem fixed. Okay, great. Wonderful. Yes, thank you very much.
Starlost says greetings from Las Vegas. Well, it's no good asking him what time is there because there aren't any clocks in Las Vegas. They don't want you to know what time it is, so that you stay in the casinos.
That's why they don't put windows in a casino. They don't want you to know what time it is.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what time you walk into the casino. It always looks exactly the same. Yeah. But you want to know a little trick about casinos is if you're going to play the slot machines, always play the ones by the door because they will put the ones that win more often by the door. So as people are coming in and out, they see people winning. That's
It's many years since I was in a casino, but when I was there, I wasn't touching any things that you put coins in and get coins back out of because they had a few video games in the corner. They were set to easy because they're meant to be to keep people who play video games out of the way so other people can play on the slots. So you put one in a video game and you get 2 or 3 times the game you get elsewhere.
Well, they don't have coins coming out of the slot machines at the Montreal Casino anymore, and that is honestly the most disappointing sense of winning I've ever had in my life. The last time I went to the casino, actually the past 2 times is when I discovered this. They changed all the machines now to digital, which kind of makes me a little nervous to begin with because, like, you know, you always think, oh, they're going to rig the machines. Well, when it's completely digital, it's so much easier to rig them than when it's a mechanical thing. I feel like the mechanical ones are more honest. But the mechanical ones, you'd pull them and then all of a sudden you'd win and it was like ting, 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 and the lights go off and the money would fall out and you'd have your big cup and it'd be overflowing with quarters. Now you go in and it's like you win and it goes and that's it. And it's like no money, no satisfaction, none of that gratifying feeling of loads of change flying into your lap. No, it's gone. It's just all digital now.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah.
You've got to have handfuls of shiny metal going tink, tink, tink.
Absolutely.
That's what money is.
That's what exactly. Money is not a little printed ticket. I'm sorry.
Even if it's tokens, it doesn't matter. Just cash them in.
And there's something about, you know, having that bucket full of coins and watching it get emptier and emptier that kind of, you know, oh, I'm getting to the end of my money because you could feel it. The bucket is not heavy anymore. Whereas you just put in your ticket and it just applies a credit and you're just playing with the credit on the screen and, you know, you're not paying attention as much. Anyhow, speaking of not very gratifying, the reason why we're still staring at the thumbnail is because my game has decided it doesn't want to update. And It did just say a minute ago, it said 5 minutes, and now it's jumped back up to 15 minutes, but it's been saying between 30 and an hour for the past 15 minutes, and I don't believe Turchin. Turchin said it was a small patch. I think he's lying.
Come on, chat. How big was this patch?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm downloading, and even though this is slow for my internet, I'm downloading at almost 12 megabytes a second. And it's been doing this for, what, 20 minutes now?
Yeah, but it started off at 7. And the servers have been flaky as hell.
It was like 9 or 10 before, but now it's 12 megabytes a second.
It's not that big a patch. Hello, Echo. Yeah, it's not a big patch.
Try turning it off and on.
I would totally turn it off and on again. You know what would happen? Elite Dangerous would restart the patch.
Mm-hmm.
Patch was small, I need to restart? Okay, fine. Fine. I'll wait. I'm going to wait until the patch is done. Should I restart the computer or should I just restart the patch download?
Just leave it. It's gonna finish. I don't know what's up with the servers or your end right now with weird time and weird download speeds, but it should be fine.
I don't trust Frontier's patching service because every time I hit upgrade, I have to wait about 5 minutes before I get a patch download bar. It just freezes on that screen. You know what I'm talking about, right? The loading screen, the launcher. You click upgrade. The button doesn't change color. It doesn't even look like you pressed it. But then all of a sudden you can't press anything else on the launcher. And the launcher just freezes for like 5 solid minutes. And then the little bar comes up saying, okay, now we're syncing files or downloading.
I have no clue how patching systems work. But I guess it's probably doing something like scanning your files to see where you're at. Even though a version number should be enough for that, so I have no clue.
I don't know. I think it's looking at my computer and going, "Oh,
Frontier
this is not an English computer. These files aren't in English. That's American."
It's Canadian. You see, if it's Canadian, it's
Canadian.
Perhaps the bits keep bumping into each other.
On the wrong side of the bus.
Yeah,
well, you know, it's English bits and Canadian bits. They're probably bumping into each other and saying sorry. Oh, sorry. No, you go first. No, you go first. It's okay. No, you go first. No.
They're both so polite. No, I think it's more like the English servers are trying to speak to the Canadian computer, and the Canadian computer's going, "What the hell did you just say? Stop speaking that Cockney English, you stupid English computer." Jesus.
Don't call us buddy. No one says that. What are you playing at?
Actually, I will tell you who says buddy. All the Canadians that don't live in Quebec, because as you all know, my job requires a lot of travel now, and I was in Alberta the other day, and I have not spoken to such Canadian people in the longest time, and I was like, oh my god, these guys are, this is northern Alberta, this is Grand Prairie, Alberta, and I swear to god, you walk into the store and you're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, hey buddy, doing pretty good. Like, oh buddy, okay buddy, oh.
Yeah, that's what my Canadian friends
I was like, I'm not your buddy, pal. Oh, okay. Sorry, pal. Sorry, buddy. Oh man, I love my country. It's vast. That's why we have such different people all across it. Well, like England is small, but you have different people across England too. So I guess you guys can understand.
You've taken that tradition.
Just imagine England, but spread out over 5,000 kilometers instead of being squashed onto a tiny little pea island. How big is England? What's
and then mix some French in there as well.
Yeah, right. It's like France and England being squashed into one. Let's see. How big is England? England is 130,000 square kilometers.
British, Great Britain, probably, rather than just England. But yeah.
So 130,000 square kilometers. Canada is 9.985 million square kilometers. So we have a little bit more space. I think we have less people, though. How many people live? What's the population of England?
I think we've probably got about, is it 60 million these days?
60
I
million?
would guess so, yeah.
So you got about 60 million people crammed into 130,000 square kilometers. We have 36 million people spread across 10 million square kilometers.
Hey, let's everybody, all these refugees, go to England. They've got space. No, you add another person in the south of England, someone falls off at the end of Scotland. There's just, it's full. We should put a sign up saying full. No more room. Go somewhere else.
Oh, you think that's full? You should see the population of India. Oh my God. Okay, here. Let's look at something interesting. I think this is absolutely bonkers to see this. Population density, and yes, Bodamax, I meant pea island as in the size of a pea, not pea like it smells like urine. Okay, population density of Canada. Let's just look at this as an example. So 3.9 population density per square kilometer in Canada was reported.
Yes, 3.9 people per England.
3.9. No, this the way that they're wording this doesn't really make much sense.
And in Canada, you get a measurement error. It's too low, the value.
Yeah. So our population density is around 3.9 people per square kilometer. 3.9 people per square kilometer. Population density of England is, let's see, 395 people per square kilometer.
Yeah, so
okay,
like 100 times that. Wow.
And
you don't want that.
India. Oh, okay. Well, you're not so bad. India's 382 people per square kilometer. So yeah, you're about as squashed as India.
Half of India is made up out of mountains. We have tall hills here that we call mountains, but they're not really.
Well, at least your air pollution
isn't
nearly as bad as India.
Well, you see, that's interesting though, because it shows here that the average population density of the world is around 46 people per square kilometer. So England is pretty packed.
Yeah. It is. It's far too packed. You don't want,
Germany isn't much better.
Stick up a sign.
Yeah.
No more people, please. We're full up. Take the next bus.
Let's see Germany. Germany is 230 people per square kilometer.
Giz was nudging us in chat to play golf it there if this patch is going to take a while.
Well, let's see where we're at. It says 5 minutes left.
It must be close. 5 minutes. There you go. That's not bad.
It's been saying that for a while, Giz. Just saying.
At least it'd be not like YouTube, where YouTube says it's got X amount of time, and then when it's finished that, it says, "Oh, I'll just process it for you now, sir." And you go, "How long is that going to be?" It's another 20 minutes, and you go, "Oh."
So
you could have tacked that onto the estimate first, couldn't you? Oh, well, you can upload it now if you want people to watch it at 144.
Oh yeah, find Monaco. That's going to be a good one.
Monaco, yes.
Okay, so you know what?
Well, it's money per square kilometer.
Just to put things into perspective, we said it was only 3.9 people per square kilometer. That's the average population density of Canada. Mm-hmm. That's assuming, of course, that there were people living all over Canada, which there are not. I'd say probably like 95% of Canada is just empty space. So I just did a population density of Montreal, and the city proper has a population density of 4,517 people per square kilometer.
Yeah.
So
but Echo Spark says Monaco is 25,000 per square kilometer. Because Monaco is, I think Monaco is hardly bigger than a square kilometer.
Yeah,
Probably,
it's not that big.
right?
It's not that big.
So that's
The average
literally the whole
income-
population of that country.
Wow.
It's mad.
Let's see New York City just by comparison.
Oh my god.
27,000 people per square. Oh, per square mile. Oops. Yeah, that's right.
Miles.
Because they don't know kilometers. They have no idea what a kilometer is.
Yeah, Vince is right there, isn't he?
Is that what's kilometer
He
to
said-
miles?
Vince says Monaco is, if you have to ask, then you can't afford it. That's basically it with Monaco.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Why would anyone want to live there, though? I mean, like, even if you had money, why would you want to live in a place that's that dense?
Well, I mean, people don't sort of actually permanently live there. Most people that live there have another house somewhere else as well. But you know,
They have a yacht there.
it's if you're a mover and a shaker and you're like hanging around with other rich people that are movers and shakers, that's where they all go for their moving and shaking.
For the moving and shaking?
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be moving much. It's probably like shimmying through all those people.
Yeah. No, they just stay in one place and then all the worker drones come and bring them things. They do all the moving.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it still says 5 minutes. Oh, no, it says less than a minute. All right, we're getting there, folks.
Yay!
We're almost there.
Yeah, but Max is right. It's mainly full of Formula One drivers, is Monaco. They all live there.
It's done. It's done. All right, we can play. Yeah, there we go. I clicked the right button. Switching on over now to this
You can have a hooray then.
Hooray! All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brocast that started 15 minutes ago. Or 18 minutes ago, actually, depending on if you're going by my old computer time or if we're going by actual time. All right, now that that time warp is done, am I sure? No, let's go ahead and do this and that and this, and this and this and then that. All right, so once again, we are determined, folks. We are a determined bunch with clearly no luck whatsoever. But we're going to find some goddamn notable stellar phenomenon today.
That's the mindset of exploration. It was Gray and I were discussing the Distant Worlds mining community goal a little while ago, and how it sort of rocketed up through the tiers because this is what you do. A lot of committed people out there, so they just go straight out, start mining. So Frontier go, oh no, oh quick, we have to make it go to 11. It's not tier 10, make it go to 11. And the 11th tier is like twice as much again as the one underneath it, and they're thinking, whoa, we're safe now. They're dealing with explorers. These people are crazy. If they'll reach that tier 11 before the week's out, they will.
If you're wondering why there's no game shown on my screen, that's because it just crashed.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Well,
This is what happens with patches in Elite Dangerous, right? Way to go, Frontier. All right. Let's start it back up and cross our fingers and hope for the best. All right,
So,
here. It's going.
11's one more, so it's better. Yeah, that community goal that goes to 11, the first one.
Yep. They literally had to crank it up to 11 to keep the explorers from instantly crashing it.
So, what? What did they have to crank up to 11?
Well,
Originally, that community goal
they
went to
go
tier
to 10
8, was it?
tiers, you know? It's
Yeah.
8, is it?
Yeah, initially it was 8, and then they saw that, you know, it would be finished by the evening, basically, at the speed, at the rate it was going. So I think they added one more tier first, right?
Well, what was it that they wanted people to do? What was the goal?
Well, it is still going. It is a mining CG where you need to
Sure.
collect gallite, indite, praseodymium, or cobalt, and deliver it to the mining outpost asteroid station there.
Why
out
did you
in the
say
Omega Nebula.
explorers?
Because it's all explorers out there.
It's
It's
Distant World.
5,000
Well,
light years from the
when
bubble.
you
Oh,
when you finally
okay.
when you finally log on, if you log on in the J Hawkins group, I've fired up mine so you can see where I'm parked. If you look on the map, you'll see where I'm parked, and you'll see that's where the Distant Worlds 2 waypoint is.
Well, I was going to play an open, as I usually do
Well,
on my exploration account. So we'll do that.
Did
Play
you
an
just try
open.
to go into the game by going to friends and private groups?
No, I went to friends and private groups because it had an exclamation mark on it, and I wanted to see what the exclamation mark was. I thought maybe people were looking for invites into the private group. But I forgot that this is not the Jay Hawkins private group. This is the Josh Hawkins private group, and people don't really jump onto that one.
Oh, you're in the Josh Hawkins private group.
Well, no, I'm not in the private group at all. I just
You're in
open.
I'm in open.
He's in open, right?
I
Okay.
am
I'll
in
pop
open.
Into open. I'll pop into open, and you can see where I am on the map.
And I've still got my my same bookmark, my same rooted waypoint
see, where
from
are you?
last week, 1769 light years away, heading in the direction
you
of
are.
the bubble, which I am, by the way, only 20,000 light years from the bubble now. That's
And
that
you
is
should be able to see Turgeon over there now.
that's the closest I've been to the bubble in as
Yeah.
long as I can remember, to be honest.
You're 16,500 away from me.
Let's take a look. Where are you, Turgeon?
The bubble is 5,500. So there you go. Straight line between you and the bubble.
Yeah, that's it.
Three quarters of the way.
No, the
That's where
fun
we are.
fact, Hannah, is that this community goal will not give us a station at all yet. This community goal will allow us to do a community goal to build the station.
Yeah.
But yes, it's probably gonna have a kick-ass sound system. No doubt about that.
All right, let's get settled in here for some notable stellar phenomena discovery. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready to receive the notable stellar phenomena. I hope you guys are too.
My body is ready.
Oh God, I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. All right, let's raise this up here.
Everyone gets a sound system.
What? Everyone gets a sound system?
Kuhod, because that's not the point. He's Commander
Because-
40%. He's gonna be returning to the bubble, and we will not allow him to repair his ship.
Why don't you get one of the fleet
Right.
mechanics from Distant Worlds 2 to meet you and repair your ship?
I'm-
Because
I
I
could
like
go
to
out there and
live
repair you.
dangerously. That's why.
For a laugh.
Danger's my middle name.
If we're really generous, we might allow him to repair his integrity, but not his hull.
There's no repairing my integrity.
Oh, that's long gone.
Unfortunately, that was gone a long, long time ago. All right, so let's see what we've got going on here. You bastards. Let's refuel and not melt myself in the process. 84%, 87%, 89%. Okay, we're good. Don't have to melt. All right, so what do we got? What am I doing? Here we go. Honking.
Well, Vince, it would be news to me that Harry Potter would be able to fend off stars, because that's
I
the only
see.
enemy Josh really has to deal with.
Yeah, that's his nemesis out there in the black.
What, the stars? Yeah.
Damn you, stars.
And they beat me up all the time, too. Well, it's a small system, so it looks like I can scan this one. May as well. May as well get the complete
held together
scan.
with duct tape and Pritt stick. That's pretty much it, yeah.
Hey, duct tape does a great job, man.
There's
Don't...
probably a chewing gum stuck in the windscreen somewhere as well. Just, patch up some holes.
Don't go dissing the duct tape, man. There we go. Another one.
Mark Watney survived on Mars with duct tape.
Right. That he did. I'm missing... Oh god, it's an icy body. It's probably one of those ones hiding behind the star, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you don't care about the system, do you? You just want to see if
I
there's
want the
a...
complete scan.
All right.
But this is 'This 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 is '
Yeah, it's weird because sometimes if the object you're looking for isn't like
Oh,
smack dab
yeah,
behind the star,
it's behind the star.
you at least still see those arrows pointing towards it. But if it is like right
behind the star.
it, you don't see it sometimes.
You know,
like, it's weird.
you'd think that these smart computers of the future would maybe change the contrast of the arrows. Hey, just saying, if it's behind the star, maybe change the color of the arrows. Make them contrast with the star. I mean, not completely crazy idea, right?
It, you know, I give you an audio warning. You try to click on something over there, you know, and there's something there and it goes. Just to let you know, there's something the other side of the star. You go, all right, I get it. Yeah.
Thank you, Turgeon, for that. I seem to have lost the galactic plane. Oh, there we go. Where is it? Where are you? Where the hell is it now? I flew away from the star. I swear I did. Oh my goodness. I thought that I would be able to see it from way up here.
That's right.
You should totally be able to see it now. I see it up. I just saw it there on the edge of your screen. It's not on the plane. It's somewhere off in the disk.
Way off in the middle of... No, oh, there's a couple of them, actually.
Yeah. Pana's right. It was Raxler and it's run away from you.
What? This is a icy ringed world. Just hiding out here all by itself. Two icy ringed worlds hiding out here all by themselves. That's interesting. I like how they didn't show up at all on the thing. Let's see, where are they?
Well, they know how unimportant they are.
Oh, that's why, because they're not on the main orbit. They're in sort of like a Lagrange orbit themselves.
They were playing cards because they know that nobody ever scans icy worlds. They're not bothered.
Yeah. Two icy ring planets just
check the orrery
by itself.
Well, these days, of course,
may as well.
Pristine icy rings. Yes, they are worth looking at now, of course. Where you get your tasty void opals.
Was it these two right here? Yeah, it was these two here. Yeah, interesting.
Sinclair, I've not
too far away
stayed away from the mining because I wanted to get on the board because I'm greedy. Because if there's some money going and all I have to do is nip out the front door and kick a rock and then pop back in, that's what I'll do. So other than that, I think I put 13 tons in because I went and shot a couple of rocks for some galactic indite.
I had
just
some
outside
great
the door.
time. We formed several wings with the rock rats, you know, the last couple of evenings, and I'm up to over 1,000 tons now.
1,000
I'd
tons
be very
of what?
disappointed.
Delivered to the
mining
CG.
collected, yeah, for the CG. I'd be very disappointed if the rock rats weren't actually out cracking rocks. To be honest.
Well, to be honest, it's
What
not
they
our
do.
main job. We just had a great fun time doing it. But there were several other wings in the FleetCom Discord as well, you know, and on the IMU Discord as well. They had some wings going as well. So there's plenty of people having a crack at that.
What about it?
But I'm proud to say that I think
mining ship out there.
I think 2 of us are in the top 10 commanders, so we're certainly pulling our weight.
That's good. Keep on. I say it's half finished. Keep going.
Well,
But yeah, so Banoax paid 30 million to get his mining ship transferred out there. Well, in the old days, you'd think, oh, that's a lot of money. But I mean, if you pop out now and just go crack some decent rocks, you can make that back.
I actually did all those 1,100 tons with my Crate Mark II. I just stripped it off everything I didn't need for mining and put some mining gear on there. Like I have like 160 tons of cargo space, I think, 5 collector limpets and a prospector limpet, and it's pretty much all you need, and 2 mining lasers. I mean, yeah, my distributor isn't that great, so I can't really mine super fast, but it works.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to change this course because if I'm not mistaken, we were doing just F-type stars, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
We were.
Okay, we're
Be
changing
more
it. We're
inclusive,
changing it.
Josh.
We're changing it.
Why not pick all of them? Nobody ever
Okay, I
goes
was doing
looking at the
F and
Ls
Gs.
Ts these days.
Let's do K.
Because people can set routes.
Let's do K and Ms.
All right.
Okay, we're doing
Well,
K and
plenty of
Ms.
But because people can set these routes these days, nobody ever bothers going to look at T's and Y's and L's. So if you want to find something that's not been discovered,
I mean, I could include them in there too, I suppose, but it's true. Nobody really goes to those because they're not scoopable.
Well, I do. I do not exclude them from my route plotting.
You're not a dwarf star racist.
No.
It's dirty dwarf stars.
Dirty dwarf stars.
Or should we just call them little stars? Because
I do not discriminate against unscoopable stars.
They're just dim stars.
Dim sum.
Dim stars.
Yeah.
Oh, system scan complete.
Now,
Nothing here.
but my distributor in my crate 2 wasn't really much good for mining because it's a very small one that I've done for lightweight and it's engine biased. So yeah, it wasn't that good for mining.
What did they fix about the Codex, Sinclair? I mean, I've read through the patch notes, but what specifically are you referring to there?
Fuel scooping complete. Warning.
The not audio and not text entries there, however they might have looked like. I didn't even see that issue coming up.
Not audio and not text entries. What are you talking about?
Apparently there were some entries in the Codex that were neither audio nor text files. Again, I have no clue how those would have looked then, but in the patch notes it said that they got removed from the Codex.
Why, is everything in the Codex audio or text?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah,
I was not aware of
what
that.
else they do, unless they had some pictures or small video clips or
Like,
something.
Yeah, either it's audio files that you find, for example, at the mega ships or the generation ships, or it's text that you can then, have the ship computer read out to you, the COVAS.
Okay, well, we've got 24 bodies. Let's take a look. What we got?
And there's a lot of voice acting, of course, in the knowledge base part of it. And it's read by
I really haven't
good voice for that.
I haven't delved into that part yet. I really should take a look and see what I found yet and have a listen to all the lore.
But yeah, I listened to all about the people. I listened to all the people in the people's list when I was doing Boyd Opal mining on Terjana.
It's actually a good idea.
4 days it took to get to.
Okay, yeah,
If you're gonna do it,
there were
time
some
to do
entries that were completely blank. So there you go.
Oh well, they were obviously about Raxler. I mean, come on, they were meant to be there.
Of course they were.
We should have taken a closer look while they were in there.
Maybe they had a slight, contrast discrepancy, and you had to get the old lens lock from Spectrum games in the 80s and put it against the screen and see what was actually there.
Oh, there are a lot of icy bodies here.
Lasse, no, not yet. As you can see, this is like now our third, fourth stream that we're trying to find notable stellar phenomena, but so far no dice.
No,
We're still at it.
no anything. No
But we're
notable
persistent.
stellar phenomena. Yes.
Well, it doesn't help that Captain Completionist here decides to map every single body and every single system and stops
that's-
that.
How else am I supposed to make money on this account? Go back and start mining? Come on. I'm an explorer.
Well, let's put it this way. Notable phenomena will earn you a tidy sum in Codex vouchers. So what you want to do is just ignore all this icy body nonsense, which are worth pants, and just when you jump into a system, look to see if there's anything on the left quarter of the radio bar.
There never is. There
Well,
never
jump to another
is.
system then. It's not like there's a shortage of them out there.
Yes, but I'm not surface mapping
just
them.
give it up. We cannot change the
I know.
hog.
You,
It's
you
not gonna
can't-
happen.
You can't compete with Commander 40%. He's got his rails and he runs on them. There you go. That's what he does.
I hate you guys.
All you can do is stand at the side of the track and wave from time to time to keep
Yeah,
the passengers
yeah.
entertained.
Yeah, how about that?
Are you not entertained? Come on.
Kuhod asks, Josh, have you seen any Thargoids out there?
No, not yet. But
I
we
think
looked.
Josh has very little chance actually encountering them because he doesn't have any kind of Guardian modules on him.
I'd have no chance if I encountered them, is what you're saying.
That as well, of course, but
Okay, so here's the real question
He
is...
very fond of the core.
Here's the real question, okay? If I did not scan all the planets the way that I'm doing, would I find Guardian relics and Thargoid remains and stuff on the planet surfaces? Don't you have to scan them in order to actually see them?
Well,
or do you have to, like,
them,
surface scan them?
You wouldn't find them in your current method either, because to see if there's some sort of site on a planet, you have to keep the scan for a couple of seconds on the planet, and then on the top right-hand corner it will pop up if there's any kind of interesting sites on the surface.
Guardian runes and Thargoid things would show up there?
I think that's where they would show up, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It'll
so then there is a
probably
reason
give you
for
some
it.
weird audio
You've just given
on
me a reason to spend more time doing it then. Thank you.
No.
Thank
Or I think they would
Raytest.
also show up on your nav panel, but only if you're like within 1,000 light seconds or so of the
Which
planet,
I
probably.
will probably never be, so...
Yeah.
Not found any
unlikely.
myself, but
Bad.
it's possible that they might also have a different noise on the FSS when you zoom in on them.
This is a
when it's doing its
particularly nice-looking white dwarf, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's not trying to burn your eyes out.
No, it's not, and
just
it's got a
doing its
little,
thing.
we're talking
And
about
it's very
companion
sedate.
stars. Yeah, it's...
It's not one of these flippy, spinny thingies.
No, it's not flippy
death
or
throes.
spinny and...
Hey, Scorbs.
Hey, Scorb. And I'm fairly certain that I did see a dwarf star right next to it as well. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, look at that. It's got a little companion. So, there's that. Companion stars. Oh, okay. Sorry. Here we go. Let's see. No volcanism. So what would it show up under if I'm on this screen? Where does it show? Locations.
On the top right-hand side.
Under locations.
Yeah,
Just stay on the planet and it will show up
if there's
location.
interesting things there, it'll show up. It'll do a spinny thing.
In the locations box, yeah. It would say like, I don't know,
Geological whatnots.
geological
Yeah.
sites,
So if it says
biological
if it says
sites, whatever.
locations none, then
There's nothing there.
skip it.
I mean, you need a landable planet in the first place.
Yeah,
you know,
it
a
has to
non-landable
be
planet
landable
that
planets, of
cannot
course.
have any locations yet.
well, icy worlds and rocky worlds are landable. So okay, so this is a reason to be doing. You see, I knew there
Okay,
was
that's
a
interesting.
reason for it.
Panna says
Actually, Lagrange.
they had to map a planet to find a medical site in orbit. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
but medical site is not going to be the same
That's a
as
bit weird.
locations on the surface.
No, it's something
think
different, but
there's-
why would you then have to map the planet to find it? That's
I
weird.
think
That
you know
is a good
there's
question.
still a bit of a work in progress going on here, despite the fact we just had one patch,
Mm.
and it was
Might be.
and as someone pointed out on the forums, it was very small increment of number patch. Because normally when you get a patch from Frontier that's a big patch, it's it's another step up in the decimal point. But this was just a little
also,
one, so it's
Scorbs-
foreshadowing bigger ones.
Check the stream title. That should kind of give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clues in the question. Clues in the question. Have a look.
Okay,
The
so
system map can remove surface features. Yeah, but only if you've like mapped or properly scanned the planet. Else they will not show up, as far as I'm aware.
what surface features?
I've got
That's
no
what
idea.
Sim Paul said.
Okay, but locations are not the same as surface features. Locations are...
Well, it depends on what you understand under surface features. Locations are guardian sites, some sort of human settlement or crashed ship or whatever, those kinds of stuff that you can find on the surface
Okay.
that are persistent. Like, we're not talking about these little tiny installations
yeah.
and skimmers and stuff. They do not show up.
Well, then I feel totally 100% justified in scanning planets like this if it's
Oh,
possible
God.
that I look at a planet and I see guardian runes, because that's
You're gonna have to
notable
wait
to
longer,
me.
though. You're
Well-
gonna have to hold on the planet for like 5 or 10 seconds.
No,
for that
no, you
location
could
box
see
to
it.
be-
The little
think
under
it's-
locations, when you zoom in, it'll either say
If there's
none
something there-
right away, or it'll start
Yeah.
spinning for a second, and then
Okay,
it'll say
yeah.
none.
Exactly. Yeah,
Fair enough.
exactly.
So
If
I'll
it's a
say...
spinny thing and it's making some weird noises, then it'll find something.
I'll stay on it long enough before, just to see if it says locations, if there's anything under locations. Because we are explorers, we're trying to find this stuff. I would be so stoked if I found Guardian runes out here.
That would be cool, yeah.
It would be freaking awesome.
There is a tiny flaw in your logic there.
What's
actually. That's if you're in systems that are full of small ice worlds. They're all atmospheric. So
Well,
in
no.
terms of whether there's anything on them. Now, moons of gas giants, different matter because you can land on most of them. Tiny planets close into the star, frequently landable. But ice worlds, waste of time.
I don't know if they're completely a waste of time, but we'll scan them anyhow. I mean, if they're landable, this is rocky bodies. Rocky bodies are landable.
Frequently.
Yeah, no atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if there's no atmosphere on them, they're landable.
Yeah.
See, like scanning locations, scanning.
Just keep scanning.
It's scanning. It's scanning. It hasn't finished scanning yet.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
It's still going.
It'll find some geologicals.
Hold on. See, now this is... Oh, 26 geologicals. Okay, so that's awesome. That's great that it shows up like that. Now I feel very happy about doing this.
Yeah, because that's silicate vapor geysers that you found there.
I don't care if it's silicate vapor geysers. The fact that it shows up and I can see it from here makes me very happy. If it said... if it said biological...
Exactly where they all are.
If it said biological or alien or whatever the hell it would show up for, you know, Thargoids or whatever... Now I don't like that it takes this goddamn long, mind you. Like, holy crap, Frontier! Does it have to take?
That might be the service though currently.
Well,
Yeah.
It could be a hangover of the old DSS. Because if you notice when you fly to, well, you probably don't because you use the FSS all the time, but I still don't use it. So if you fly to a planet which is undiscovered, then as you get near it, it starts kicking in the DSS like the old days.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that have
it's
none,
still there. It's still buried there. Right, machine.
Does it very quick.
He says exploring's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Yes, thank you, machine. Thank you.
Yeah, full of nuts. Yeah. Snickers bars to you. We used to call them marathons.
Marathons. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate.
Botomax says zoom out and then zoom back in seems to speed it up.
Really? Okay. Let's
try that.
Let's try it.
Have a crack. You never know.
Well, when it says 0 locations, then it doesn't matter. But locations none. Of course, now I'm not going to get one. But let's see.
Take care, Panna.
Take it easy, Panna. Of course, now every single one is just showing up none, but...
Yeah, that's right. I think Scorp's wife is coming back today, right?
Yeah, should be back home now.
None.
Ready for inspection. I hope you successfully unbloked your home.
Unbloked your home?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what he said. His home is all bloked
this time. Yeah.
These are asteroids. Alright. What else we got? No, we've got something here. None. Plus I'm making money. Don't tell me not to make money. I like making money.
Debloked, excellent.
Alright. Where's the rest of these little bastards?
He says, yeah, house is not debloked, just don't look in the garden. that's where all the blokage went. put it in a big heap and covered it in leaves so it looks like a bonfire too.
Okay. Found the
just
rest
don't
of
give
them.
her matches.
Rocky bodies.
Debloking.
0 locations. 0 locations. I love how now I'm...
Well, what
Okay,
happened
there.
during your stream last night, Scorps, is
Nope.
if people were napping away left and right.
No, he wasn't streaming. They all went off after playing golf, and
Oh.
They all bombed minis. Straight.
Wow, the scanning takes a long damn time.
Well, it's just gonna be water gazes.
Yeah, geological. How do you know? Are you psychic?
Because it says no.
Because it
it
says
on the
water
right
gazers.
there.
What's
Just
the
above no atmosphere. You see.
I'm just going by statistical chance here.
Well-
That it's gonna be those water gazers. It's very unlikely it's gonna be additional biological sites.
Have they found Guardian or
It's-
Thargoid runes on icy planets or just on rocky planets?
I think so far that's only been on rocky planets, if I recall
Rocky
correctly.
Planets, Guardians. Yeah.
Maybe rocky
No,
icy, but not only ice.
Because maybe I could
Technically,
save
they-
myself a little bit of time if I know I don't have to go to certain type
Yeah.
of planets.
I couldn't
I
tell
mean,
you for
their
certain.
worlds
I mean,
that they
you never
terraformed
know.
and then got destroyed
Josh,
by their
don't
AI.
tell
So they're not
me-
going to be icy ones.
Don't tell me you could, with a calm sense of mind, leave out icy planets unscanned. You know, there might be something completely new out there that you would be the first to find.
Listen, you don't have to convince me. I'm already I know. I feel it. I will
Yeah,
be the
just,
first.
like,
Damn it.
Don't pretend that you could just move on without scanning those. As
I'm
well.
sure in my heart that Frontier has put an Easter egg somewhere in this galaxy just for Commander Josh Hawkins, and I'm bound to find it. Okay?
Hey, Dove's in chat. Right, Dove?
Hey, Dove. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. Well, that's what, 3 jumps? No, no notable stellar from. Where are these things? I've done 3 whole jumps. Can't believe we haven't come across one yet.
By the way, right now that I see Dove here in chat, I don't think I'm spoiling anything if I say I'm very much looking forward to the anniversary that we're gonna have, because right about now, 1 year ago, we had the Enigma expedition,
Yeah.
and Waypoint 5 supposedly of
System scan
the Distant Worlds expedition is gonna lead us quite close to Colonia. And I think some of the folks that took part in Enigma would want to make a little detour to celebrate at the Dove Enigma.
Well, that would be pretty darn cool now.
I hope you're done for that, Dove.
Is Dove on Distant Worlds?
It could be.
I hope so.
Dove, are you on Distant Worlds?
That was a year ago, Bodo, yeah? It was.
It was. I know it doesn't seem like it, yeah, but it was. It was actually a year ago.
What, Distant Worlds?
I think. No, the
Scorps.
expedition. I mean, it doesn't seem like a year, yeah, because Scorb and Machine and our videos came out a lot later. So for us, it doesn't seem like a year ago because it wasn't when we actually made videos referencing it. So yeah.
Ropes.
In fact, no, it's worse. I think, Scorb. You're not just stuck in Colonia for a year. I think you've been in the bar for a year. As far as the story's concerned.
My God,
Machine-
I do not
From
wanna
Machine
see-
and my perspective,
I do not want to see
yeah.
that tap with Jax.
he's been in the bar for a year.
I don't want to smell his breath. Oh, God.
Oh my God.
He's brushing his teeth with a bottle of Jack, like what's her name? That singer, Kesha.
Yeah, that's also not how you're supposed to use wine, Scorps. You do not pour it onto
Yeah.
your Hodis.
true.
Well, if you're trying to disinfect it and make it smell good, go for wine. Another
Yeah, so
white
she's-
dwarf.
Stuck there for a year. Far from Gwydion calling him a plaything, it'll end up as
System scan.
Asclepius, you are my plaything now.
yes, Jacques' plaything. He'll never forgive you, a Jacques' indented servant, for having been stuck in his bar for a year.
Jack's a robot, or half robot.
Cyborg, yeah, cyborg.
Yeah.
There are some human bits left, I think, but they can't be in that good a nick after 200 years.
No.
so God knows what state they are.
All right, we're jumping. We got 55 jumps, which will.
He's got
Try to
Vader
complete.
complex. He's more machine than man these days.
Yeah. Well, imagine if the man parts just continue to age. I mean, you know what they look like after about 90 years. Imagine 200. It's got to be some wrinkly human parts on him.
Well, according to the lore, he doesn't have any legs anyway. He just hangs around behind the bar on a pole that drives around the back of the bar.
Kind of like the android in that movie Passengers.
That is why the android in Passengers looks like that. I'm convinced they based him on Jack's.
It must be. It's uncanny. Kodiak, I think you're getting something confused there, because you cannot change your cockpit mode in the scanning mode if you are referring to the FSS scanner. You change the cockpit mode, when you're in your cockpit from combat to exploration, or the other way around, or scanning, I think it's called. And only in the scanning mode can you even switch to the FSS module that you see on screen right now. So I hope that's what you mean. I hope I could help you out there. If not, let me know.
Tell you what I find quite annoying is when you're in an SRV and you're in the habit of using the turret to do everything with a mouse, it makes it next to impossible to actually set up fire groups and mode switching to use things like cannons and composition scanners and data link scanners. But that's just me. Because I just like using the mouse for the turret, because it's a lot easier.
We've got water geysers here. Do you know what the sound is? Because if I don't have to wait for the spinny thing and I can recognize it from the sound. Okay, see,
that's gonna be up to you to find out. Sorry.
Oh, come on! Don't be like that.
I've never scanned for surface locations, so I wouldn't know.
And you call yourself
Kodiak,
an explorer.
I think you find it under the FSS tab at the almost at the, I think the second before last in the options in the controls menu. Should be FSS, and I think there at the very bottom you find the HUD mode switch or something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but that's where you should find it.
Well,
yeah, James, you do still get cash from honking, just not as much as you used to, because it's because they've speeded the overall process up. You can just park next to the star and scan an entire system. So
speeded?
Yeah.
Really?
They compensated by knocking the amount of cash you get from a simple honk down, because the honk doesn't reveal as much as it used to anyway, so it kind of makes sense, I suppose. It's like a half honk these days, so you don't get as much for. In fact, I don't think you get as much for scanning and FSS scanning in total anyway as you used to, for doing a DSS and an old honk. But now you've got mapping on top of it as well, and if you add the mapping on top, you can get silly money for scanning Earth dikes, even in the bubble. So yeah, overall it's worth more if you just do a bit of mapping as well.
I wonder if they consider the full location scanning to be like more money than...
Nope.
No, it's the same, hey?
If you want more money, you have to map the planet, and that's not mapping what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I don't think the Universal Cartographics hand out completion bonuses for doing an entire system.
Yeah, you do. You get a system.
No, it tells
bonus.
you. Yeah, that's just to tell you that you've completed the system. It's not going to throw more money away for it.
I thought you do get more money for completely scanning the system.
You get efficiency bonuses for mapping planets in under the number of normal probes.
No, we determined this last week. Grey Test, you said that there's... So you get one for just the base honk, right? You get one for completely scanning the system. And then you get one for completely surface scanning everything in the system.
I don't think so.
No.
Or no, just for surface scanning, you get an extra bonus, and then you get an efficiency bonus for those individual surface scans.
There are, yes, you do get efficiency bonuses, that's correct, but you get no bonuses for any sort of completion. You only get individual rewards for scanning an object or a body in the system. Either just scanning it or mapping it. There is no bonus for completion.
Why you gotta go take away my fun? Why don't you just let me believe that I'm actually going to get like a bonus for a complete system scan?
Universal Cartographics isn't the boss of you. You can do what you like. If you want to think, hey, I want a completion satisfaction bonus for doing an entire system, you can. You won't get any money for it, but there's nothing to stop you.
Now I don't feel as compelled to do it, though.
They're not the boss of you.
I don't know from the top of my head, Kodiak. I would have to fire up the game right now to tell you where that mode switch is. Maybe Josh can quickly look it up, or Turgeon, because I don't know from the top of my head. If it's not in the FSS tab, then it's gonna be higher up somewhere in the HUD mode control stuff. I don't know.
There's one near the top and one near the bottom. One for entering, one for exiting, and you can set it to the same button if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've actually got my T-flight set to, which is
But
rather
it's news to me that you would be able to enter the FSS module while you're in combat mode. I'm pretty sure that
unless you're sitting still. Oh no, that's right. You can't.
No, that would be hard. No,
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to enter it in combat mode.
We can't do that.
So
But
I don't know
if-
what you mean with
what if you have
with
multi-crew?
puts you into scanning mode. I think you mean something else. Like you have to be in scanning mode to enter the FSS module.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Analysis mode.
Yeah, it throws
that's what it's called.
A little thematically coloured warning at you up, either in blue or red, depending on what mode you're in.
It'll say module not available in this mode.
Yeah, also some of
Or
these
slow
buttons
down
are
to
not
use
set
this,
by
not
default,
access
that's
them.
true, but you can set them. So
Yeah.
just look through all the control options you have there and set the necessary buttons, and you'll probably have an easier time navigating all that. I think even the mode switch is not set by default. You have to manually set that one.
Yeah, they can't. If they forced it,
Temperature critical.
I feel like they
You
would
haven't, you haven't
break the
checked
game.
where the nearest station is, have you, Josh?
The nearest station to my location?
It's probably to you. It's probably Colonia,
I think so.
but in a couple of weeks' time, it'll be the core of this community goal that they'll start building a framework and a station.
Yeah,
there.
is that
It's
it?
just up
Josh,
to how much.
You literally managed to stay out in the black so long that the civilization instead of you going back
You
to
are a
civilization.
generation. You are.
Yeah, it's incredible.
They're like, we better start building out towards him, or he's never gonna get that data back. Maybe I know where Raxla is. It's in my computer somewhere.
They're gonna find you out there in the black, just drifting along in the dark, and they're gonna treat you like a godlike entity, like a blast from the past, a relic that they uncovered.
So what's happening? They're building a station near the core.
hmm
That's what the community goal is for. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
that's
no.
what-
This
that's-
community goal is for allowing us to do a community goal to build a station.
It's a community goal to allow a community goal. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frontier logic. You
Yeah.
know. And
So, like, if
toge-
enough
when
people-
they're put together, it determines the quality of the station that we'll be able to have out there, how much stuff it'll have on it, depending on how many crazy community goal tiers we achieve. And going from the rate that this lot are doing, you're going to have one that's like the equivalent of Abraham Lincoln and Michael Gorbachev.
I
orbiting
can't
Earth.
complain.
mad.
I'm very very proud of how
Quad, we're not
strong
currently
the
mining it.
community
I am doing the CG, but not right now. So if you need a squadron, just join the FleetCom Discord. You'll find plenty of people there in voice or just in the private group flying around, and you'll easily be able to form a wing to mine with them.
Unless you want a squadron that's not to do with anything there, in which case there's always Starstone Enterprises if you want that. But Josh, when Josh
Generation
finally gets back to the bubble, he's probably he could very well be setting up a sort of a Brocast squadron of his own. People that have been out there in the black forever. And
Look, it's gonna happen at some point. Okay.
it'll be when you got squadron carriers. That's when you'll get back to do that. Probably.
Maybe, possibly. Okay, I can't get a complete system scan here, so we'll just go moving right along. Eventually, there will be a Brocast squadron.
Could just ask around. I mean, I'm pretty sure that several people from the Bro Bar are out there on distant worlds as well. So maybe you find some of those
yeah.
guys in the FleetCom Discord, and you can wing up with them.
And the other thing is, we
But
were
then
all
again-
strangers on the first distant worlds, weren't we? That's where we
I
all
was
met,
just
really.
gonna say that that's kind of the awesome thing about Distant Worlds, because I hardly, like, I know a few of the old guys from the olden days, but I meet so many new people on a day-to-day basis on this trip. You just talk to them, you wing up, you do some stuff together, and you become friends, and you fly together, and that's kind of the purpose. So don't be afraid to wing up with them. They're not gonna do you any harm.
And a
Hopefully.
gig like this,
Hopefully, right?
there's a lot of like-minded people out there. So
Yeah.
Fuel scooping complete.
Angry Gnome says, Josh, don't panic, but someone just was in the room with you.
Yes. I am aware. I am aware of that. Oh, hey, we've got an Earth-like. Oh, no. It's almost an Earth-like. We do have a water world, though. So there's a water world here somewhere. Let's figure out where that is.
Oh yeah, 20 Light-Year Cobra Mark III. That's
Oh, we got
gonna
2
be
water
a
worlds.
bit of a chore to get out there. And you're gonna struggle towards the end. You're gonna
24.
need a lot of FSD boosters to cross the abyss towards Beagle Point with a 20 Light-Year Cobra. But it's doable, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we've gotten Sidewinders out there with less jump range, I'm pretty sure.
Well, look at this. There's looks like a trinary star system over here with 2 water worlds orbiting around it. I'm going to take a look on the orrery because I'd like to see what this actually looks like. It looks somewhat interesting.
Just have a look at Kodiak's pictures in the chat there. He's got enter FSS bound to numpad 0 and leave FSS bound to numpad period full stop thing. So that should work. If it's not working, I don't know why. You could try
Maybe.
binding them to the same key. See if that helps.
I personally bound it to the key on next to the shift button, to the left shift button. I don't know what that's on your keyboard, but on mine it's like a weird, like the greater and smaller than sign, that one.
Just
I bound
right
it to
the
that
shift
one
on
to
mine. It's
change
that
the-
weird vertical line thing that doesn't serve any purpose and a backslash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I bound it to that one to switch my modes between analysis and combat. And I think the FSS I enter with just, assigning a fire group to it and then just clicking the mouse button, and I leave it with my general leave menu button, which is the tab. But, that's different for everyone. I think some people have the boost on that one because that's what it's assigned to by default, I think. But I have my boost and shift. So I changed my bindings around quite a bit from the default ones. Just
On
make
my
it-
T-Flight, I've got it set to, I think it's the 8 button on the throttle, which is the shift focus button, that's under your thumb on the throttle. And I press that one and the secondary, tertiary, what is it, trigger? The 3 trigger on the stick, and that toggles between the two. It's a little annoying because it it slightly zooms the focus out every time I press the shift button, as it were, on the stick, but I get used to it.
All right, come on, notable stellar
Again,
phenomenon.
That is combat and analysis mode, and there is a button to toggle between those two. You'll just have to find that control option in the control menu. Just look through all of them. I don't think it's in the
Let's
FSS
see.
menu. It's
I mean,
probably
but this-
higher up. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
Bottom
I
says
would
it's
buy-
switch HUD that you need bind.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I would bind entering and leaving the FSS to the same button, to be honest, because you kind of remember it better that way. Because your finger's going to remember to go for a button, and if it's the same button as a toggle.
You'll make it work. Just look through the options. We all found it as well.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the full scans in the hopes that maybe doing this a little quicker will get us.
Well, you still have an hour. Why are you suddenly getting into a hurry?
I really want to find a notable stellar phenomenon. You have no idea.
and miss out on a biological
Stop
site
it.
on an icy world?
Stop it. Stop it. You are not helping this at all. Just saying.
That's right, Theobar. Just blame Scorpius.
Flame of Scorpius?
Yeah, always blame Scorpius.
If all else fails, blame Scorpius.
Okay, I like it. Damn you, Scorb. How dare you. I'm just gonna... So no locations, none.
Yeah, it's under the mode switching subsection of the menu. It's not actually under the FSS.
Historically, have Guardian and Thargoid things been on moons or on planets?
Small planets, I guess they are. I mean, there's a lot of Thargoid stuff actually on what you call the kind of moons. I mean, what do you call things that are going around these dwarf stars that are not much more than a gas giant? The kind of moons, really, but
Planets.
they're sort of small planets.
No, they're small planets because they've cleared their the debris from their orbits.
Generally, yes, small things. I think there's been some on what we call moons. God, he's kind of very near the core and just up a bit.
Who,
That's
me?
where you are on the galaxy map, isn't it? Yeah.
I'll pull it up here in
near
a
the core and
second.
up a bit.
Show where we are.
Yeah.
People want to see how far out we are. I mean, this is the closest I've been to the bubble in a long time. I think I was only 21,000 light years away from the bubble right now. So here, as soon as this one finishes scanning.
Yeah, Kodiak, that's the thing. It's not explained very well in the controls menu at all. No, they expect you to find it by looking through them all, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You have to map the entire mapping selection to find it if you want to do any mapping.
Okay, got a lot of moons here though. None. No.
Kuhut, he's currently in the Dry Owl Awesomes sector. There you go. You're welcome.
Right, yeah.
Right. That helps because we all memorize those sector names, right?
Naturally.
Yeah. And they
Super
never
easy.
sort of repeat in chunks that are combined with other chunks that you remember from somewhere else, making it doubly not memorable. That never happens.
There's actually quite an intricate system to those system names, those generated ones. And if you know that, you can actually navigate by it, sorta.
Is there? What the hell's the system?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
There is
but
one.
I used to actually
There is one.
work through that quite hard because I was, you can kind of work out how many interesting stars there are in a certain sector by their name. Because I think it starts with the biggest ones. I think it kind of goes by mass. So the supermassive, like O-type stars, for example, they have AA, blah, 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 and then a certain number starting, these sectors, these 1024 by 1024 cubes, are divided into smaller cubes, and I think then even smaller cubes, and those then have just a number system that goes in a certain order in 3D space. Like that's how these cubes are then filled. And if you know your orientation and if you know the number of your current system, you can kind of go cube by cube and see if there's anything interesting in there.
I think Tado and Guru know these things intimately, so one of them, if it pops in chat, you can ask.
I just missed someone
number types.
donated something, but I missed it because I all tabbed out too slow. What did I miss?
Hold on, I didn't see it showing up.
I see it pop up in PayPal, but it's probably their actual name. So let's see. Who did that? Identify yourself.
It hasn't popped up on stream, so I couldn't tell you.
Whoever
It
they are,
didn't pop up on the stream?
I didn't see it.
You can have that. That's
Did
for
I
you,
miss it?
whoever you are.
Well, thank you,
Mysterious donator.
whoever you were, mysterious donator.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Actually, that was a very nice donation of you. Thank you. Okay. No notable stellar phenomenon. And nothing on these planets, and that system scan is complete, so I guess we'll move right along to the next one. We're going to find something. I mean, you know,
Death Star Omega says, it was I. You are welcome.
Aha. Well, thank you very much, Dead Star Omega. I'm hesitant sometimes to read out the names that actually show up on the donation because I don't know if people necessarily want their names to be said. But do know that the PayPal donations don't show up under your commander name. So if you pop in a donation, maybe put in the comments who you were so that I can remember that. It will be easier for me to identify you. But thank you any way you do it. Okay. Scanning away. Maybe that'll bring some good luck.
System scan complete. System scan complete.
Are you trying to bribe the galaxy?
I am.
Well, nothing else has worked so far.
Right?
Just throw money at it.
Just throw money
Swearing
in
at
it
it
and maybe
can
it'll
help.
give me a notable stellar phenomena. That's how they are. They're going to be microtransactions from now. Oh, it's like, oh, you'd like to see a...
Don't give them ideas.
You want a notable stellar phenomenon? Okay, well, you could purchase it on the Frontier store.
Pay
my
to
God.
scan. You know, it's a pay to scan.
Yeah,
game.
that's it. Pay to explore.
Well, we tried swearing at it most of the last broadcast. That didn't help. So maybe bribing the galaxy is the answer.
Maybe I'll just bribe Ed or Zach. Zach, if you're
I'll threaten
watching, please press the button. Press the button
I'll-
that adds notable
I'll
stellar
threaten the
phenomenon.
galaxy as Gwydion, and
It's
then if
that big
I'll
red-
threaten the galaxy as Turjana.
Like it's
One
that
of them
big
will work.
switch under the red security cover that says notable stellar phenomena for Josh.
Yes, that's the one,
Yeah.
please. I'll take it.
Give it a flick.
Just help us out here, Zach. You bastard.
All the shinies. That's what you want. The button that says "Give all shinies."
Yes, in one star system.
Well, maybe it'll be like Fallout 76, and you'll drop into a system that's the dev system, and it's got all of the notable stellar phenomena.
Why? Is that something that
And all
happened?
star types, and yeah, there's a dev room in every Fallout game or every Bethesda game even.
Really?
Yeah.
It's,
I
yeah,
have a huge Bethesda fan sitting right next to me right now.
well,
Just
yeah,
saying
you
that there's a
can't
dev room
access.
in every Bethesda game.
Oh,
You
he'll tell
can't
you.
access that room just by roaming around the map. You actually
They're-
have to
they're-
kind of hack the game.
He says they're banning people that go to it in Fallout 76. Though.
They are. They
Yeah.
are.
They
They're-
are.
Well, they're suspending people's accounts if they see some activity on it, and then they're saying, if you tell us how you got in there, we'll kind of like clean your character up and unsuspend your account. You know, it's like, do the work yourself. If you should find out how people get it. Don't ask people to tell you. But what people are doing is
'Cause
they're popping
everything's
into
in
the dev
there.
room. Yeah, they're popping into the dev room. They're nicking all the good stuff,
Monaco,
transferring it from that account to their main account, and then ditching the account that's got
Oh,
suspended because they don't
jeez.
need it.
You can always
Well
board
done.
your ship. If there is no space for your ship to land nearby, it will find a spot and just hover over the ground, even on a steep inclination. What you then will have to do is drive exactly under your SRV hangar bay, and your boarding option, your little control light, will actually light up when you're in the right position, and you will be able to board your ship, and it would kind of skylift you up
The
into it.
tractor beam engages
Yep.
and just beams you
Basic
up.
stuff. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Oh yeah.
Well,
let's
if it-
call up the galaxy map. He still wants to see where you are.
If it
Oh,
does
yes,
find
yes,
a
there is that
spot
too.
on the top of the canyon wall, then you have two options. Well, three options. Either you get up on top of the canyon wall with skill and luck or I don't know, help maybe. You destroy yourself, or you drive far enough into the canyon or away from the canyon wall that it does not land on top of the canyon.
All right, showing off again where I am currently. We can't get the sector names here though, can we? Stop.
Bonamax
Stop
threw in a
zooming
bribe there, but it hasn't worked for this system. Maybe the next system. Give us phenomena.
This is where we are right here. We're
next system.
just outside the core system, in this little corner of whatever section this is. I don't know why it doesn't light up or give the names on this. It really ought to.
Yeah, that's probably help.
Region names here.
I didn't engineer my scanner probes though, because it also increases the mass of the module, and I mean it's not significant, but I went for jump range rather than scanning probe radius.
Oh, I'm in the Imperium Straits. It does show this sector name. It just shows it at the top of this screen. It's a little... So just between...
good point, Spooky.
The core and the norm arm.
I have a crappy distributor, Greg.
You actually have a fourth option.
3A.
You can launch the game in non-horizons, and it will put you into your ship up above the planet. Do you keep your SRV? I don't recall right now. I think you actually do. I think your SRV will be back in your bay, in your hangar.
Yeah.
If you do that. So there's your last resort option there.
Yeah, it ignores what happened in the Horizons client and just says, "Oh, that never happened. Never mind then," and it just puts you back where you were. So that's fine. Until they stop having non-Horizons clients and expect everyone to have Horizons. One of these days.
One of these days.
We're fine for now, though.
Why would anyone not want to have Horizons? You know?
Because it costs more money.
Yeah.
I've been going on about this forever now. I don't want to repeat myself. I'm just of the opinion that they shouldn't sell the game separately anymore from the Horizons expansion. It should be one package.
Yeah.
There's actually, I dare to say, probably more content for Horizons than there is for not Horizons now. So it's silly. It should just be the one thing.
Unless you just buy the game to play CQC.
I mean, the CQC was at least available as a completely separate module. So I don't know if that's still the case, but really, I mean, even if it puts the price for the whole game up by like $5 or even $10, like I just don't see it be worth, for people to save $5 or $10 and get the base game without Horizons. It's just not worth it.
It makes the game look so much nicer too.
I'm not the marketing department of Frontier Developments. Apparently, they have a different opinion on that one.
Still nothing here. Damn it!
There's an interesting point James Hayden said there. It also works if someone blows up your ship. You can load back into the base game and get your ship back. That is an interesting fact I never knew about.
Well, it's not really one that we routinely test, is it?
No.
Sometimes we'll blow my ship up.
Typically, we try to avoid getting our ships blown up.
That's a Spatula thing. Spatula would do that without question.
Yeah, totally.
Brightfart, certainly. Just to see what would happen.
So, what was the ship that we were saying is now going to be the new best exploration ship? It was one of the new ones, right? Not the Mamba.
A lot of people like the Phantom.
The Phantom.
There's a lot of great Phantoms on Disney Wheels too.
A lot of Phantom fans.
It's a solid choice. Yeah, it does quite a few things quite well.
And
in terms of range, I think the best one is still the Anaconda, because of course it is. But the Phantom is a very good contender for best exploration ship out there.
Yeah, but if you are going to go land on high G worlds, the Anaconda is not necessarily your best choice.
It
isn't. In those cases,
if you've got an Explorer Conda, you've made compromises that means it gets tougher. It gets a lot tougher to do things like that.
Exactly. So would it be feasible to say that an ASP would still be better? Just because of the size?
It's still a solid choice. Like
it is still.
The Phantom didn't completely replace all the other ships. It's just a very good addition to the exploration lineup.
Oh, we've got water worlds. Where are the water worlds?
When you've been flying around in an ASP for years, like you have, surely you want a different thing to look at. Don't you?
I don't know. I really like my ASP. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge fan of the ASP. It's. I mean, I've grown to love it now. It's kind of hard not to.
That's just Stockholm syndrome because you've been
Yeah.
out there for 2-3 years.
Been with the damn ship for so frickin' long.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I
Well, here,
mean,
we've-
I'm actually in a Crate Mark II for this one for story reasons and because it's got the more space.
I'm in the Crate Mark II
But-
for paint job and
Yeah, I have a
ship
paint
kit
job.
reasons.
Thanks to Loot, actually. Loot is responsible for my paint job. So I'm out in that one, but if I wasn't storying and what have you, I would probably, if I was just going out there on the expedition, I'd probably take a Phantom because it does look pretty cool and it's quite versatile and it's got enough space.
But yeah, good point there,
Fast.
Iman. The Crate cannot quite compete in terms of cockpit view, to the
to the
Asp.
Asp. No, the Asp has... I mean, look at this. You're in a greenhouse over here. You can see everything. And that's one of the things about the new ships that I didn't really like is those blinders that they have. But you do have external camera view, I suppose, which is better than even being inside the ship. But in VR, I don't know. Has anyone actually been in the Phantom in VR compared to an Asp? How does it feel?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the beauty of the crates is that they've got hard points sticking out your window. So you look out to the right and deploy a hard point, and you see this huge gun come down right outside the window.
Which
I'm really
you're never
enjoying
gonna
those
do
right
in
now with
exploration.
the mining lasers coming out of these positions.
Oh,
Yeah,
mining
never gets
lasers.
old, that,
Mining
does
in
it?
VR would be really cool now, actually. I didn't think about that.
But yeah,
Quite good,
it's certainly got a decent front view. If anything, in some aspects, the immediate front view is a little clearer than the Asp.
And down. Down
Down
is pretty good in the Crate as well.
Down too, yeah. But sideways, not so much because you've got the slits sides of the hard points and the sides of the ship, so you can't really see much out the sides.
Okay, well, I came to surface map this one because it is a water world and it was only a couple hundred light seconds away. So let's go ahead and do that. I feel like that shut off way more than one missile for some reason. Let's do that. 3, 4, 5.
I haven't had a chance to test in multi-crew since the patch to see if they fixed the problem with that. Last time I was multi-crewed with 2 of my accounts. Every time I fired a probe, it fired 2. So it was really hard to get an efficiency target when it was doubling the amount of probes you were firing for no reason.
Scan complete.
Okay, well, there was a second water world here, though. Which one was it? This one? Yep, there it is. We'll go fly to that one, too. It's only 350 light seconds out. Map those. And get our efficiency bonus. And nothing else. No notable stellar phenomenon still.
When do you start making billions?
You don't make billions doing exploration, unfortunately.
Well, you do now.
Billions?
Well, you can. It's not that hard. And when I was on my other account, my second account, not the third one, earlier on today, I was just pottering about from place to place, like unlocking an engineer, and I stopped and scanned an inhabited Earth-like world in the bubble. And when I turned that data in, it was 1.5 million.
Yeah,
for
but
mapping.
you still need a lot of those to make a billion.
There's a lot of terraformed worlds in the bubble. It's insane. And by the time you start adding in stellar phenomena and stuff like that, Codex entries, it's certainly not. It's not as hard as it was to get a billion.
Okay,
I wouldn't be
not as hard as it
surprised.
was.
I mean,
But-
there are a few explorers out there who under the old system who've been out there circumnavigating and they come back with billions. But under the new system, I wouldn't be at all surprised if people start saying, yeah, I've got a billion for that.
We'll see. We'll see how much I get when I actually do get back to the bubble. I'm heading in that direction now, and I think what we'll do is I'll just continue the Brocast, flying in that direction, scanning, looking
Straight
for
line, yeah.
notable stellar phenomenon. Should get there in about a year or so. At this pace,
Well, you'll hit Colonia soon.
Slow down. Stop. Stop. All right. Let's scan this planet too.
Yeah. You're almost at a point where you could go into the galaxy map and set the filter to inhabited, and you'll see them showing up soonish.
All right, there we go. That one should be done.
No, they'll be worth a tidy sum each.
Why does this one look like it's already fully scanned?
Who knows?
Well, surface scan complete. Done. All right. Next. Next. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's find a goddamn notable stellar phenomenon. Wonder what are they worth? I mean, considering how rare they are, you'd imagine that they would be worth a fortune. 100 mil. A cold 100 mil.
You're taking a piss,
I don't
right?
know.
As if FDEF would just hand out money like that. I mean,
well, look how many have been discovered. Like, very, very few. They should be worth a crap ton.
It's not that few, but yeah, I mean, I agree they should be worth quite a bit. It's just they don't scale it quite that much. You know, it's gonna be. I don't know. I never discovered one myself, so I don't know what it's worth. But it's probably gonna be.
Right there. He says a Codex entry is 25 to 50k.
There you go. That's all you get
for 50k.
A Codex entry. There's a lot of Codex entries you can collect. Yeah.
Why is exploration such a jip? Doesn't make sense.
Well, mapping isn't, no.
Well,
I mean, I
again,
kind of disagree with that. You know, it should be much more.
It should
like
be.
If you think about, you're like the first one to discover like some sort of space mushroom life form,
You
and
should
you
be
report
famous.
back about it. You should get like a badge and your name on it and tons of money. But hey,
especially, I mean, the metallic spiky things that are presumably condensed out of gas clouds, if they're pure metal, then you don't have to mine anything. You could just go and grab one and tow it back somewhere. Now, surely that would be worth a lot of money, wouldn't it?
yeah.
A location of things that's just pure metal that's bigger than your ship that you don't have to mine. It's just sitting there.
It's gonna be a few thousand tons of metal at least, so that would sell for like what? A few tens millions or even hundreds of millions of credits.
Yeah.
It should, but it doesn't.
No locations here. Of course not. Get these asteroids.
The spiky things are made out of pure Toblerone.
Oh yeah.
Now that would be worth it.
Just bring one of those back. You know how much Toblerone cost?
It's probably more than iron ore, to be honest.
Probably. Oh, silly people. Alright, what am I missing? I'm missing something here. One planet somewhere. There we go. Two of them. 1, 2.
System scan complete.
Got it. System scan complete. Still no notable stellar phenomenon. So, L and M stars have not seemed to improve my chance so much yet. I've done 25 jumps. I mean, plus the other day, plus the day before that. I mean, how many jumps total have I done now? Well over 100.
Oh, must be.
Yeah. Well over 100. Haven't found a single notable stellar phenomenon. Yes, it's my own fault for calling it no stellar phenomenon. I jinxed myself. That's what I've done.
Well, I wouldn't exclude any stars if I was you, but hey. I mean, it should work either way. Like,
Well,
the chance of finding one should, you know, roughly be the same if it's
Yes.
the same across all star types, which I don't know.
And it's
But-
kind of, but that's the thing. We don't know if it's the same across all star types. That's why we're doing it like one or two star types at a time to see if there
Yeah,
is a
but-
better chance.
The size of your
Hey, don't talk about the size of my anything, okay?
of your probe. What do you say? What do you call it?
The size of my probe? Is that what you
The
said?
size of your sample is so small
That's
that
what he actually said.
there's
No,
no sense
no, he's
in
talking about
the
sample.
parts.
Hey, first he talks about the size of my probe. Now you're talking about the size of my samples. Like, give me a break, man. Cut me some slack. Jesus.
It's just too small, Josh. There's nothing you can do about it.
He's gone down that road, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Oh, yeah.
It's only worth that much.
Yes, but my probes are extremely efficient, okay?
If you say
Yes,
so.
it's not the size of your probes, it's what you do with them that counts.
Right. It's
Well, apparently nothing.
oh, well. Apparently nothing. They haven't served me. They haven't served me well yet.
System scan complete.
System scan complete.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we also
Oh,
don't know. I mean,
nice
if it's,
binary right here.
if those are all natural phenomena, they should theoretically be distributed quite evenly across the galaxy, but we don't know. There might actually be a sort of distribution pattern to those phenomena across the galaxy. So maybe you're just in a region where there isn't any or very few of them, and there's more closer to the bubble in that galactic.
Why would that not surprise me one bit?
It totally wouldn't surprise me because the stellar forge is, you know, actually models
It has
quite a
rules,
few things. It has rules, and
Yeah, it's like
it's
only-
probably not just a flat constant across everything.
Only 6 stellar phenomenon per cosmic sector.
I don't know what
Damn
those
it.
metrics
It's
are.
already 6 taken. None for me. If your name starts with
Spooky-
Josh, you can never find them.
Spooky says, I thought they were only in nebula, nebulae, nebulala. Possible. We don't
Well,
know.
no, because they found
should
some like
look
in
for
the
a nebula.
bubble.
Yeah, but there's nebulas close to the
There's
bubble.
no nebula in the bubble. What are you talking about?
Not in the bubble, but close
Well-
to the bubble.
We found those ones out at the Guardian system, and there was no nebula in that one, so
Yeah, true.
I think they're more likely.
I mean, they are in those Lagrange clouds, am I right? Is that always the case, or are there some just in deep space randomly?
Well,
Don't know.
yeah, we don't know.
That's what we'll find out, I suppose. as we
Eventually.
get further into distant worlds. There'll be a lot of data gathered about that.
It'll be interesting to see how many are picked up along the distant world's path, right?
Maybe you
Considering
should
how many
look for
people are
like
there.
a planetary nebula or some sort of other nebula
I've been
nearby and
looking
head
for them. I spent a good hour before the show the other last week looking through the galaxy map trying to find a planetary nebula. Planetary nebula are hard to find, man. I don't know if someone's got
I
like
know.
a special system for it, but there's a lot of galaxy out there, and those things are tiny. I mean, they're the size
Yeah.
of a star, basically. So,
basically, yeah.
you know, trying to sift through an entire sector, it's virtually impossible. I've only come across 3 the whole time I've been traveling. 3.
I've come across a few, but all of them have been discovered already on my first trip out here.
Well, 2 of mine were undiscovered, but I mean, whether they're still
Who
undiscovered
knows now?
now,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
probably they've been discovered by now, I'm sure. If they haven't, then lucky me, I guess. But no, I'm sure that they're discovered already. Gas giants, rocky ice, and high metal content worlds. No notable stellar phenomenons. Phenomeni.
Phenomena.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bananas. Yep, that's right.
Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh no, don't get me started, because it'll be stuck in my head for a week.
An earworm is you.
There you go. Spooky is also unlucky, so at least you're not the only ones struggling,
Okay.
Josh.
Phenomena.
His sample is also too small.
Okay there, Mr. Efficient. We'll get you to take a picture of your sample size, and then we'll compare. Okay.
You don't want to get sample envy.
Sample
People posting
envy.
their samples in chat. Ugh.
With this bunch, who knows? Wouldn't surprise me. Don't listen to him, folks. Don't do this at home. Okay. Gas
We're trained
giants.
professionals.
That's right. We are trained professionals.
As far as you know.
Couldn't say that with a straight face.
Well, you know what I used to do, so.
you are actually a trained professional.
I'm a trained professional.
Oh my god.
Tom mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Did he? Thanks, Tom. All right, jumping. Come on now. Come on. Love you guys.
Postcode to send out samples to.
I'll register a PO box somewhere.
Oh god.
Would...
You're gonna need some disinfecting spray for that post box afterwards.
I'll make sure it's in one of those aluminum PO box drop things in the sun.
Oh god.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna scan this one. 29 bodies. I should. This is the one that's gonna have the Thargoids in it, but we'll just move right along.
You wish.
Mostly be moons of gas giants, yeah.
Gassy moons. Moving right along. Dry out awesomes.
I wonder, like, FTF have been very quiet about, you know, the next update so far. I mean, they're still kind of riding that wave of, you know, all that new stuff in 3.3. But if we keep in mind that, for example, the fleet ships, the motherships, what are they called? The mega ships? No, they had a name. I forgot. Whatever.
Carriers?
Those carriers.
Fleet carriers?
Fleet carriers.
Squadron carriers?
Fleet carriers.
The fleet carriers and the the rework of the icy planet surfaces has been, you know, kind of taken out of 3.3 and moved into the first update of 2019.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would, you know, start, you know, talking about that a bit more now, since, you know, that should be coming up within the next 2 months, really.
Yeah.
But they've been rather quiet about that.
You know what? I don't care if they're quiet so long as they're working hard.
I mean, I'm sure they are, but I don't know. We've still only had that one single artwork or concept of those icy surfaces, and we have no further details about fleet carriers whatsoever, like how they're gonna work, what they're gonna do, or, you know, the conditions of them at all. And I wish, you know, they would open up a bit and get the community talking, because again, in the past, feedback has been proven very valuable, and I'm just afraid that they're kind of working on their own and mixing something together and completely missing the point again.
So here's my guess.
What, like
you
ground
ready?
punishment?
Here's my guess. I'm gonna guess that with the next update, Horizons will be included for all base users, and they will have access to the new Icy World surfaces. And everyone else will have to pay for the new expansion, and it will include advanced rocky worlds and maybe some of the beginnings of atmospheres.
Joker, so I don't think that's a valid argument, because if they want to keep Ed out of the loop because he's leaving the company, then they can just do that. Like, just don't tell him anything more than he needs. You know, if he's going to present something to us on a live stream or on the forums or wherever, we're going to know that as well. It's not exactly a secret anymore, so they can tell him as well. It's not like some secret knowledge is leaving the company. Of course, they couldn't tell him any additional stuff, but I don't see the issue. I mean, he's leaving now at the end of January, so
Is he really?
yeah, Ed is leaving the company
Oh.
end of January.
Where's he going?
He's moving on. I don't know where he's going to. I don't think he said which company he's switching over to, but I think he's going to be a community manager again.
He's going to Star
Yeah, he's sticking in
Citizen,
the
right?
community game somewhere else. Yeah. Well, they need help.
Yeah.
I mean, and that as well, of course, there's always NDAs, so even if Ed would know stuff or have to know stuff that we don't know yet, there's stuff to cover that. That couldn't be a reason to not tell us. And they still have other people as well. I mean, Will could, do all that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a valid argument to say that's why they kept quiet, because Ed's leaving the company.
Well, I hope he doesn't go to Star Citizen, really.
He's not that leaky.
I'm really curious, actually. I will keep following him and see where he pops up again, because I'm very curious what kind of company that would be. If it's something that we know, something close, something, in the competition, or a complete different field.
Would be interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was Star Citizen, okay, cool. I mean, nobody here's got anything against Star Citizen. We want them to succeed, because it would be awesome.
But to be honest, I it's very hard to tell, but just by seeing what is it called? Imperium Games? No,
CIG, right?
Cloud Imperium Games.
Cloud
there you go,
Imperium.
yeah. Cloud Imperium Games and Frontier Developments are very different companies in terms of spirit and I don't know, general mentality, I guess. I don't really see Ed fit in there. I mean, of course, that could be why they would hire him, to kind of change the face of the company a bit.
Could be.
Make it more accessible.
Well, he does have a different face, than
Giz is right.
Chris Roberts.
Giz says, I think he's going to help the UK government because they need a community manager.
Fair
Quite
point.
right, Giz.
Fair point. I just don't see him fit into CIG because they have such a stiff, I don't know, aura.
I think he's probably, my guess is, we've got a feeling is he's going to end up in something a bit fluffier than the whole sort of elite.
What, like kids
something-
games?
I don't know what.
No, not necessarily kids
not
games. I could totally
necessarily,
see him
but
pop up in
fluffier.
the kind of esports area, maybe along the lines of, I don't know, Fortnite or some kind of Dota game in that direction, maybe League of Legends. I don't know. I have no clue. Big world out there in gaming.
Found another water world. All right.
Ad for Prime Minister.
Maybe it's Bethesda. They phoned him up and said, "Ed, save us."
You know what? Bethesda's one of the few companies that could screw up more than anyone else, and people will still love and buy their games.
Until, this year, yes.
No, even
I'd have agreed with that in November or so, but now, middle of January, no, they've run out of credit.
You think
I
so?
think
with
they're
the community.
Yeah, they're pretty close to being beyond saving, I think. It really depends on their next few moves, what they're gonna do, and their fate.
People love Bethesda games, and they love to criticize Bethesda games because they have a lot of bugs in them. But,
Yeah,
but
well,
it's
their
way beyond
latest
bugs now.
announcement is that the next 2 games that they're going to put out are going to be using a revamped graphics engine. And so people are saying, well, hang on, if you're working on them, why did you use the ancient engine for Fallout 76? And the obvious answer is they wanted to rush it out to make money.
of course.
So people, again, they're having a pop at them for that. That's this week's Have a Pop at Bethesda.
But that doesn't mean that they can't change
excuse.
the engine, right? Because games change engines all the time. Look, DayZ changed engines midway through their development. Elite Dangerous is updating their engine for better lighting. So,
well, I'd say that the argument is, why release it with an 8-year-old engine when they could have just waited a little bit longer and put it out with a brand new engine? It's supposed to be their flagship multiplayer game.
yeah.
But it's just like they just put it out as a cash cow. in a crappy, unfinished
totally
state
is.
with loot box
But
things on the horizon.
whatever.
So they've lost most of their friends. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
They're not doing very well in the publicity.
Botomax CD Projekt Red have been hiring from the UK. I could totally see that being, because CD Projekt Red is one of those awesome companies out there that actually, apparently at least, do not try to screw their player base up all the time. They've been very open and
they make great games too.
Fair, and yeah, they make fantastic games. So yeah, I mean, imagine Ed being part of the community management team for Cyberpunk 77, or what's it called? Cyberpunk 2077. That's what it's called. Yeah, man, I really look forward to that game. I really hope my PC can handle it. If not, I will finally have to upgrade at some point. But I definitely want to play that game because it looks awesome.
It does.
Cyberpunk.
I mean, if right now, just from my perspective, there's only very few companies out there in the gaming world that I deem fair or very open, let's say. I mean, FDev, yeah, kind of. I mean, they're certainly on the better side, but the really, like, the staples are definitely CD Projekt Red and what's it?
Well,
the guys from Warframe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. They love having a chat with their community guys, don't they?
Yeah, Digital Extremes, that's what they call. And also, I mean, you don't forget, or you shouldn't forget, the smaller studios as well, like the developers of Astroneer, for example.
Which is going to be launching very soon, as a matter of fact.
As a full release now?
Yeah, 1.0.
Nice. I think we should take a look at that again.
Yeah, very soon, if I'm not mistaken. What did they say?
Let me look it up.
April?
Well, so the other thing is, when you
February?
consider that Hello Games itself varies, and it can be like 6 employees at some time and another. Maybe they need a community manager now. Send him down to Sean Murray.
Oh, yeah, right. If Ed went and worked for Astroneer, that would be pretty cool. But I don't know if he would do that.
There you go, February the 6th.
February.
So,
aha.
That is gonna be a Wednesday, so I guess on Saturday the 9th we might be able to take a look at Astroneer again in the full release version.
That would be really cool, actually.
1.0, amazing.
And we should be able to get a lot of people in there too, because it's going to be. We saw at least 9 people in their demo.
Nice. I mean, I really enjoyed like following basically the whole development of that game along.
Yeah.
I mean, since they started, publicly showing stuff and making it accessible. Of course, they have been developing for longer than that, but still.
It was a fun one for sure. And Astroneer is a very unique game in that sense.
And it has grown. Think back to when we first played it, how different it was already.
Maybe Ed's going to Helion.
I had a poke at that again recently, but something screwed up for me. Like, I got stuck because
Yeah, there's a lot of things that screwed up with that game.
Yeah.
Although I will give them this much, they fixed quite a bit. They made it more interesting.
I was gonna say it wasn't that terribly buggy anymore. I had more of a systematic issue that I kind of ran out of oxygen or power on my station, even though I tried to follow all the steps at the beginning. But something went wrong, and I kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place there, and I couldn't continue. That was kind of annoying.
So they've made big improvements on the game. I've noticed that. I'm going to give them credit where credit is due. But I wasn't playing with anyone else on the ship. And I think it's the multiplayer aspect of it that screws everything up in that game.
Yeah, I mean, for that game, it's still going to be quite a while until we take a look again at it, in multiplayer and in a more finished state with more features, because it still has a way to go.
It's got a long way to go. Very, very long way to go. All right. Moving along. We've got about 10 minutes left or so. Still no notable stellar phenomenons, though.
Well, Dave G, that's where you kind of, or where these kind of self-publishing studios come in, like the Digital Extremes or like Frontier Developments, because they do not rely on a publisher. They don't need to get bought out by someone, or they don't run the risk of getting bought out by someone because they're on their own. I think I'm not sure how CD Projekt Red does it. Are they also self-publishing?
CD Projekt Red?
Yeah.
I think
Don't
so.
know,
They
but
have-
Frontier's,
Well, because
Frontier's going to be publishing for other people.
They're from
in the
like
future,
Poland, aren't they?
so It's not bad.
I think they're from Poland.
I'm pretty sure
or
they're from Poland.
I couldn't say for sure, but somewhere in that region, yeah. Because that would be interesting. Because, you know, FFR and Digital Extremes are self-publishing, and it kind of shows that whenever there's a second big company like EA involved that tries to, you know, make things better and publish for you and increase your profit or whatever,
They mess it all up.
That's literally what it is.
Well, because they
that's
have
the one-
expectations that they force on them, and they're like, we have to
Exactly.
go by this deadline, so you have to launch it, and then they start cutting corners. As soon as companies cut corners, their games suffer. The quality of the games suffer.
Yeah, and you can clearly see that these companies that publish themselves can take their sweet time. Like, on Warframe especially, like, the amount of time they invest into reworking stuff, you know, taking a step back if things went wrong and doing it over again, like on a very, very fundamental basis sometimes. Like, they literally rework their game and control code in the background. If, you know, they recently noticed that their control inputs were completely off, and they just recoded the whole part of that game, of the game in that regard.
But but early access, the whole early access thing, I think that also breaks a lot of games in a way that people don't really think about, because you start playing a game that's not complete, and, you know...
Absolutely. But on the other hand, you have to keep in mind that that also allows games to grow that would otherwise run out of money way before we even get to say any part of the game.
But how does that
So
actually affect the end development? They get a...
It's
they
a
get
two-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it well for it to work, and many studios struggle with that, you know, to give the player something that's fun, but still incomplete, but also make the player, or have the player know that it's incomplete and be fine with it.
Well, when you play early access now, it's sort of like it goes, you know that that's what it means. This is an incomplete game, but some people jump in there expecting to have something that's an actual game when they don't realize that they're playing more like a tech demo.
I think it's two sides. It's yeah, on the one hand, it's the players like kind of expecting that early access is now a finished game to some degree,
which it is.
But on
never.
the other hand, it's also studios kind of abusing that early access mechanic to push out stuff that shouldn't even be in early access, like pre-alpha stuff that's way too early to even reach player hands.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's two sides really. It's a very thin path to tread right, but it can work. I mean, we have seen examples in the past where it turned out quite well.
Yeah, it's not to say that it can't work.
Seen some games kind of find their demise with that system, but
Danny's asking what the jump range of your ship is there.
Oh, it's not modified in any way. It's a 30 light years.
33-ish, is it?
Yeah.
I know that it's. I
something
mean,
like
I
that.
set out on Distant Worlds in a ship that was comparable to the one you've got there, because it's before engineering. We set out in that. Mine was 33.3. Yours is probably.
It's about that.
It's under ship, and you have to cycle down the menus on the left side.
Under
I
ship.
know it's not where it used to be.
No.
Yeah, you go to ship, and it's the left menus. It's the bottom of the thing.
So I'll check when I jump in here. Ship. Cycle down. Yeah. 30 unladen, 32.11.
Yeah.
What else do I see under here? Nothing. That's just my resistances and whatnot.
Yeah.
Pilot reference, functions. Yeah. Alright. Whatever. We're still looking for notable stellar phenomena.
Yeah. So it's a pre-engineering ship you're looking at here. This is vintage. It's a classic.
Yeah, it is vintage.
It's an
Nobody,
old
nobody
timer.
flies these anymore.
Classic car. Classic car. Aye.
It has one of these number
Restoration
plates
when you get back.
with the old timer mark on them.
I'll sell it when I get back to the bubble. At classic car prices. Oh, it's almost an Earth-like world.
The dashboard might be a bit
Almost.
burnt though.
Those are
Sunburned.
original. Those are original. That's how they made them back then.
Yeah.
Sunburn marks
all
on
the,
them.
yeah, all the Lacon cockpits smell of burning rubber, didn't you know?
Look, it's so old it doesn't even have scratches on the paint job because that they only
There's
added
no
that in
paint job
after.
Yeah, that's the point.
Bare metal.
It's just bare metal. Yeah.
Slightly melted as well. On the
This is
surface.
actually a pre-paint job ship.
Yeah, and pre-decal
Yeah,
as well.
sorry.
Pre-decals,
It's not
pre-paint
buying that
shop.
mileage on that ship is awful. Not buying that. Yeah. All right. It's seen a few miles. Yeah.
It's seen,
You know,
it's
it
seen
might
a few
have
miles.
gone round once or twice.
It's been around the galaxy, this ship. That's what it has.
System scan.
System scan complete. No stellar phenomenon. God damn it!
Once more, these elusive, notable stellar phenomena elude us.
Yes. Too much, so
Well, they elude you.
they elude me. I don't know how I haven't been able to find a single goddamn one. But we're 25 jumps from the destination. I might have... I don't recall if that destination is actually a notable stellar phenomenon. So I was like, if I don't see one in over 2,000 light years of jumping, I'll land on one at the end. So it's kind of the goal. Then I give up on exploration. Go back to mining.
Yeah.
And in the end, there's not gonna be one there. Because Zach hasn't flicked the switch, so you won't see a notable stellar phenomena while there's one for everyone else.
That's it. I'm telling you.
Everyone's got a notable stellar phenomenon with their name on, but he forgot you because you're out in the black.
Maybe
Josh.
maybe you only find them if you've got a ship that has microtransactions.
The more money you spend on livery, the more likely you are
Yeah.
to find.
That's it.
You got livery, you got bobbleheads.
Damn
got
you, Zach.
lights, coloured engines, coloured guns. You got all of that. Collect the set. You find stellar phenomena every system.
No, you have to buy the bobbleheads that spell notable and put them on your dashboard in the right slots. And then you'll see them. It's like a special code.
You have to like summon them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, the up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B,
Yeah, it
or
would be
whatever.
So funny if you could enter cheat codes
It's-
with your bobblehead.
That's it. It's bobblehead cheat codes. That's exactly what it is.
You heard it here first, boys. Try them all out.
Yeah, then you'll find the secret dev room with all the stellar phenomena in. All of them in one system. Yeah.
Yeah, you should spell Raxla. Maybe that's how you can do it.
You gotta spell Rax.
I mean, I bet people have tried that. Have they?
Who knows?
Have we just uncovered how to get to Raxla?
We didn't have bobbleheads in the game back then, though. Not the spelling bobble. We
No,
didn't have
but-
any bobbleheads in the game.
But no, Raxler was there. They didn't say that you could necessarily, find it straight away. You could go
Yeah,
to
they said that
find
it's been in the
system
game the
that
whole
it's in.
time since the beginning.
Yeah, but you need the special bobblehead key to unlock it.
The Braben bobblehead. Ooh.
Well, we
See,
did have a
that's
couple of Lost Twins bobbleheads.
That's why there
in
is the
beta.
Raxla category in the Codex. You have to spell Raxla, and then you will get an entry there in the Codex that leads you to it.
Here's an interesting little binary.
It is. Wow.
Not like super close, but close enough. Let's see.
We are coming to an end, though, Josh. 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, hey, it's an end with a nice view, right?
Indeed.
There we go. Very nice view
talking
for the
about
end
your
of the
ass.
show. Yeah.
Asp in front of things.
Asp in front of things. Well, you know what? We'll leave it with the asp in front of things. We'll bring up this nice background shot here for all of you who want a screenshot of a white dwarf and a star in binary. And we'll pull up the sponsor list and we'll start doing that thing. How does that sound? Because we are down to the very end of the show.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this then. I know it's here somewhere. Sponsor list. All right. And let's put on the music, which I have right over here. And we'll see if we can do it in 20 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here goes. 1, 2, 3. This show is brought to you by our sponsors, Commander Brandis, Corvus, Corax, Malik, Xanthia, Scorpius, Darb, Keith, Sin, Daedalus, Dead Star, Giz, Binary Star, Stato, Chip, Lucci, Coffee, Liger, C Maximus, Limit, New Cuber, Primetime, Casual, Uktitide, Kurokechi, Kobayashi, Spatula, Spooky, James, Takoso, Commander Ibarra, Nix, Powerhouse, Top Blazer, Henka, Speedstorm, Theodore Bauer. Yes, I did it.
That was record time. Not bad.
We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks so much. This is Commander Josh Hawkins signing off.
Cheers.
Bye.